Welcome to VintageWeightsPGH. I'm not in my gym, I'm at Prime Fitness. Just an hour and a half north of Pittsburgh. It was an easy trip. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Jared.
Yeah, glad you're here, man.
Nice. So Jared is going to show me around the Prodigy Rack here, which, as I said in Home Gym History Podcast, is targeting home gym owners, and my interest is piqued. So
Good.
Show me some of the main features here. Like, what do we have?
Yeah, so man, I think it's a half rack with an integrated cable system. So you can still do all of your free weight work out to the front of it. We've got the, the safeties, and we've got J-cups and all those hooked to the front. You've got that. Then it's got integrated cable systems within as well. So these pulleys adjust. So you can set your different heights, different angles. Yeah. The option here is a 2-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
So in the case of this one, I believe this one that we have here is a 2-to-1. So this would be a 2-to-1 ratio on the adjustable pulley, 1-to-1 for your lat pull down.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, you can obviously maximize the load for the pull downs, and even for this, it's got a 350-pound stack. So even on a 2-to-1, that's still quite a bit of load, right?
In my gym, I mean, I have a smaller gym, so I'm always moving around here, there, everywhere. So as soon as I saw this, one of the first things I saw was, oh, that's awesome that this moves. So you can really angle in whatever way you want. You could work just a single or both if you wanted to do some chest flies. That's very cool. And then up here, the different points are intriguing as well in the way that they move. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so it gives you a lot of versatility, a lot of different options, and then it's got a series of attachments that come along with it too. So like we've got the low row foot plate, which is adjustable and detachable. So you don't necessarily have to sit on the floor to do your seated rows anymore like you do on some of the fixed ones. So you can utilize a bench, shorty bench, regular bench, whatever. It's got dip attachments. We've got step-up platforms. We've got the lat pull-down seat. We've got the rotate pull-up station. So yeah, you can adjust in and out, fully swivel.
That is awesome.
So yeah, it's a ton of versatility packed into a relatively small footprint.
I mean, my kids would be hanging from this immediately.
They'd have the time of their lives, right?
Exactly. As soon as I moved this around, and this isn't like a ball socket, I thought, oh geez, that's
they're gonna have fun with it, right?
That's a jungle gym immediately. So then, storage options on the side.
Yep. Storage options on the inside as well.
If you move this all the way down, you could then put safety spotter arms on and do your barbell work that you want to do. So yeah, that is a nice system, all integrated. So then let's take a look at, speaking of barbells, some of the bars that you offer, the specialty bars you offer. So on Home Gym History Podcast, we talked about how with Coach Kassem you developed these specialty bars, and then which one came out first? The trap bar?
Trap bar was the first.
Trap bar first, so it's an open trap bar. You've got a new trap bar that you'll be bringing to Home Gym Con, but this one that's for sale right now, I mean, what stands out to me right away is the adjustable handle height.
Yep.
With the pop pin, that makes it really easy.
That green, it really stands out nice, right?
I have the green pop pin, and then nice knurled handle. I'd say a little more than a medium knurl, which on a trap bar I think is nice. Fairly smooth sleeves, slight kind of rib on there, but nothing that's going to make too much noise. People hate the rib sleeves. I'll never understand why companies keep on putting those grooves on the sleeves. And then you can rocket the loaded, obviously.
Correct.
Am I missing anything here?
No, man, you nailed it. We do have some other handle options other than just the standard handles that are shown on it right now. We've got the CAS handles, and we have the rotate handle option for this bar.
Very cool. So you can sub out different handles, or you can build up a collection as a home gym owner usually likes to do.
Yeah, lots of variety, right?
And then here, I mean, the first time I saw this, I thought, wow, that looks like a spider. Like, is that a spider bar? Like, if you've ever seen those.
There's a lot going on,
right? And then to give him credit, Joe Gray, I saw his video with the Prime Fitness Super Squat. So this is a, in the family of a safety squat bar, I would say, but what it makes it different right away, as you talked to on Home Gym History Podcast, would be this back pad. What else in the design kind of stands out for you?
So some of the other features, in addition to the back pad, that's obviously what we're known for the most on this bar. We spent a lot of time on the handles, ran it through a lot of different body types because a lot of the handles just kind of came out right to the front, and people couldn't get to full depth because they're hitting their quads or whatever. So this seemed to be long enough to accommodate a wide variety of different users and still not make contact whenever you were going through the movement. We also, not a huge thing, but probably a nice little touch that we at least think it's a nice little touch, was we went with stainless steel here. So nice. in the racking areas, knowing that those were going to be the areas that we're going to be constantly making contact, it was, let's not powder coat this so then it chips and it doesn't look great after so long. That. So we went with stainless steel there.
I appreciate that a lot. And I mean, truly, it's that's with vintage bars, that's where all the knurling is worn away because the age-old metal on metal. But even when it's not metal on metal, damaging the bar itself and the coating and the finish of it, I've had various bars that when they're powder coat, when they're clear coat, they just get chipped up and chipped up and chipped up, and that's annoying, especially when you're paying a premium because
it's not a cheap bar.
These are not cheap bars, so you want something that's stainless steel. That's a nice touch. And then the handles flare out to accommodate, you know, whenever you're in the lower portion of a squat. That's very cool. So now let's head over to the other room here. So this is the Smart Arm, and we have it configured here with the shorty bench for preacher curls. And right now, you've got the weight up there on the top peg.
Yep, so it'll be heaviest at the bottom and then start to taper off as you get up through the movement.
Nice. But then the middle one versus the lower.
So the middle peg is going to be more of a consistent or constant strength curve, right? So you're going to feel it pretty much the whole way through that movement. And then conversely, if we load the bottom peg, then it's going to be heavy to start or heavy at the end, so it's going to go from light to heavy. Okay. So we'll let you give that a shot so you can feel it. So basically where you're getting that bicep fully short, and that's where that load's going to kick in and be heavy.
That's very cool. And then obviously you can configure different attachments and different, with the shorty bench as well as with the Smart Arm, different configurations for different exercises. Manual comes with 6 standard exercises, but of course, home gym
we said we would leave the rest up to the internet, right? We've been saying that since day one, and we've seen seated rows, we've seen all kinds of things. I've seen this all the way at the top of an upright. It's been really cool to see, which is what we were hoping for.
Well, even within some of the main 6 exercises, you can definitely play around and have some variations in terms of, like you just said,
the different loading horns.
The different loading horns and the different points of resistance. So that's very cool. I like that a lot. And, you know, it brings a lot of versatility in a small footprint for a home gym owner. So that's intriguing. I like the Smart Arm. That's cool. Now, as far as some other things here, do you mind talking about this odd looking upright?
Yeah, certainly. So we're working on it does.
This looks a little different.
So we're working on different storage solutions, right? So we've got a single stack here with kind of this different side extension kit, and we've got a bunch that we're going to be rolling out and kind of unveiling for, you know, different options for different users, right? So this setup, we've got the storage with another upright, and then we've got an angle upright instead of this being straight and the Smart Arm kind of being set up on it here. Just kind of angles it just out of the way, kind of opens up a little bit more space throughout being able to get in and out of here.
So then you could go in to grab more weight or grab an attachment, whatever you might have stored back there. That's an interesting idea, because I can't think of seeing.
You're like, hey, that's
upright.
Not straight, right?
Yeah, something's a little bit off there. So that's cool with the storage and the angled upright. Very nice. So now let's take a look at a couple of the different machines that you noticed at Home Gym Con. Hey, wait a minute. A lot of these home gym owners tend to be looking at this, even though your first impression was maybe it wasn't totally targeting them. Turns out they really
Turns
like
out it was, yeah.
So in addition to what we just looked at, this is coming to Home Gym Con as well. So viewers, if you're going to Home Gym Con, you can try it out. But first, let's see what the heck it is. So what are we looking at here, Jared?
So this is the newest product that we're preparing to release or launch. This would be our Pendulum Squat. So it's got a lot of different things packed into, I'll say a small footprint, even though it does take up some real estate. We've got the adjustable foot plate, so both vertical and horizontal adjustment or angle adjustments, as well as in and out.
Okay.
We've got, instead of the 3-peg torque arm, we've got the adjustability on the counterweight here, which will move in and out. So the nice thing when you're not using this, especially for the home gym, garage gym users, is you can move this counterweight the whole way down, which brings it about to where that arm is. You can load weights if you want to load the counterweight with the weight, or it has band peg options as well.
Nice, nice. That is a cool feature. I like that, you know, the extra 3 to 4 feet out there, you know, just eyeballing it. You can then bring that down.
Right.
And that's usable space in your gym.
Yep.
And then just go back into action whenever you want to use it. So that'll be fun to try at Home Gym Con. Check it out for sure. If you're interested in purchasing anything from Prime Fitness, you can use code VINTAGE to save a little money. And of course, save on Home Gym Con tickets with code VINTAGE. Jared, thanks for showing me around.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Appreciate it.
All right, this is Rob at VintageWeightsPGH. Thanks for watching.